In this video tutorial, we're going to talk about using the TransTech System's MTL File Tool to create a material profile for your SDG 200 non-nuclear soil density gauge. So let's get started. The MTL File Tool is located on the CD-ROM that's included with your purchase of your SDG 200 gauge. However, if you do not have the CD-ROM, you can access the files on the TransTech website. Go to transtechsys.com, click on Products, and navigate to the SDG 200 page. Once there, we're going to download the MTL File Tool. And we're going to save it to our desktop. Once that download is complete, you can close the browser. And here's our Excel file. Once the MTL File Tool downloads, double-click it to open Excel. When Excel opens, you'll receive a security warning telling you that macros have been disabled. We must enable this content. So what we're going to do now is use the information from our particle size distribution report, our compaction test report, and our liquid and plastic limits test report to populate the information in this table. So let's get started. First I'll enter the description, sand with silt. Next is the soil ID. For this material the ID is 13-020. However, the Excel file will not accept hyphens or spaces. So I'm going to call this soil ID 13020. The depth is 0. Max dry density is 144.90 pounds per square foot. The optimum moisture is 4.90. The wet density offset is 0. Percent moisture offset is 0. Percent larger than 3 inch is 0. Percent larger than 3/4 inch is 16.60. Percent gravel is 31.60. Percent sand is 57.90. Percent fines is 10.50. There's a 0 plastic limit and a 0 liquid limit for this material. And there's also a 0 coefficient of uniformity and a 0 coefficient of curvature for this material. Now the file name cannot exceed 8 characters. Otherwise the SDG 200 will not recognize it. I'm going to call this demo file, which is in 8 characters or less. Once you're done populating the information, click Save, and you'll receive this warning. Hit OK. And here's our demofile.mtl. This will be automatically saved to your desktop, so we can close this and minimize the Excel file, and here it is. This is the MTL file that we're going to use to transfer to our USB drive and then upload to the SDG 200 to begin using this particular material profile. Once the MTL file is on your desktop, insert your USB drive and navigate to that folder. Then simply copy the file to your USB drive. Once it's copied over, you can remove your USB drive. Now let's take the USB drive over to an SDG 200 and load the MTL material profile. Once you have the MTL file on your USB drive, you want to start your SDG 200 and press the Start SDG 200 button. Now press the Material button. And now we're going to upload a material, so we're going to press the Upload Material button. Now the gauge is going to prompt us to insert the USB memory stick. Once we insert the memory, we can press the Upload button. And then now it's asking us, are we sure this is the material we want to upload? There's our demo file, so we press Select. And that's it. Now our material file that we created from the MTL File Tool is uploaded and ready for use in the SDG 200 non-nuclear soil density gauge. Stay tuned for our next tutorial where we talk about creating a material profile with limited data using the MTL file generator.